This is Jenny Nasland, and in this video we'll be focusing on Educator Access in Skyward. Educator Access is where you report your grades for your students. This is where you can get student information, behavioral information. All of those things are found in Educator Access. Once you're in Educator Access, you're going to click on Teacher Access, and we're going to start first with My Gradebook. In Gradebook, you'll click on your class, and I'm in a test class. I'm recording this video in the summer, so it'll look a little different. You'll probably have more than one class here, but you'll click on the class that you want to record the grade for, and the first thing that you're going to do to add a grade is you're going to go under Events, and I'm going to say Add Events, and you want to make sure that you're in the right subject. I'm in Language Arts. I'm going to choose what skill that we're working on, and this was a comprehension quiz, and then I'm going to go ahead and write a description into my description of what it is. Detailed description, you could explain more if you chose to. You can adjust the grades for when you assigned it and when it was due, and then you can give it your score of how many points it is worth. You can also decide if you're going to post it or not. Most assignments we do post, so families have access to looking at them. You can either save and go back. You can save and add another one if you have a bunch of assignments you want to add, or you can save and score. If I'm ready to score it, I'll click on that, and then I would go ahead and write the score. And I only have one student because it's summer, but obviously you would have your class list there. Let's say the kid got a 5 out of 10, so they would get a 50%. I could add a comment. My other option is to say no count. Maybe for whatever reason you're going to exempt the student from the assignment, you can click that. Or if a student didn't finish the assignment, let's say they got a 0, they didn't turn it in, it's missing. And it's important to click that because there's ways of running reports that show the kids their missing assignments. So if you have a missing assignment, if you click on missing, that way you'll know that it's actually missing. So I record my assignment in there. Over here, we have a mass assign option. So let's say that almost everyone in your class got 100%. I could go ahead and write 10, and I could say apply, and this would apply 10 to everybody in the class. And then I could go back and manually change the scores that weren't 100%. So that's a way to kind of speed up the process if a vast majority of your class got the same score. When I'm done entering my grades, I'd go ahead and click Save, and that saves the grade into Family Access. Then other things that you can see in here, attendance. I'm going to show you another way to take attendance, but there's a place there to take attendance. Reports. Reports are really useful. You can run all sorts of reports. These are just a huge list of reports. One of the reports that I think is the most useful, especially at the beginning of the year, is this grade sheet report right here. If I click on this, some of the options I get are for these blank grade sheet reports. And these blank grade sheet reports, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here so you can see it. These blank grade sheet reports, if I click on it and I go ahead and say print, basically it's going to take a second to queue, but this will create you a roster that you can view. So I only have, again, one student, but you'll see that I got the student and a bunch of blanks. So it just kind of creates a roster that you could use in your class. Some of the other reports that you can run, I'm not going to run these, but I'll show you. A progress report, you could run individual students' grades that way. You can do missing reports, so this would show all the missing assignments that each student has. Other things you can do, if you go under a class roster report, I'm not going to run it, but I'm going to show you there's an option here. You can modify parameters of a template, so this allows you to actually choose what things you want to show up in your report. So maybe you want to have all of the kids' student IDs so that you can help them with their passwords at the beginning of the year. You could run a report that way. So reports, those are kind of fun to play with and can be really helpful in the classroom. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Oh, a couple other things. Quick scoring. This would be a way that you could score all these scores at the time. A lot of times I use this at the very end of the quarter if I want to go back and adjust something or I need to add in something really quick. You can go in and do that manually. Let's see, lastly, you can export your grades into a different, like an Excel document that you can print out at that point. If I go back to teacher access, if you click on my students, in here you'll get your whole list of students. You'll be able to click on individual students, and this is where you're going to get all the information about the student that you have in your class. So I'd have an image of the kid, if we have a picture on file for them, if they have any allergies or specific information you need to know about guardians who can't pick up and those type of things, those would show up here. The other thing that you would get is you're going to get all of the family phone numbers, email addresses that we have on file. You'll also get the student ID number and their passwords. So if you need to look that up, you get their age and their birth date. And then you get all the information about all the siblings that they have in our district. So this is a great place to get information about your students, especially at the beginning of the year. As the year progresses, you'll get attendance history in here. If they're in older grades, you can get their schedule. You get discipline reports if they've been entered, test scores, MCA scores, all of those type of things are in there. Family access history, you can see if the family has accessed family access at home there. So you have a lot of different options here that you can get under that student tab. My classes, this would just show a list of your classes. It would give you another way to go into those classes. Let's see, you also have down here my conference scheduler. This is what you would use when it's conference time, and there'll be more videos sent out towards that time of year. But you can schedule your conferences through Skyward so families can go on and access them. That concludes my video of Educator Access.